This is Raider News with Evan Goldsmith and Allie Brown with the news, Brittany Larkin with arts and entertainment, and Samantha Gates with sports. And now, Evan Goldsmith and Allie Brown.
Welcome back. This is the October edition of Raider News. I'm Evan Goldsmith.
And I'm Allie Brown. The new school year is off to a promising start with many new changes. The teachers are all pleased with their new contracts, and the class of 2010 has entered the high school. New faculty members are adjusting to the district, and a new health food policy has resulted in new lunch menus. Perhaps one of the biggest changes to the Scotch Plains-Fanwood Public School District is the new superintendent, Dr. Margaret Hayes. Faced with the difficult challenge of filling Dr. Carol Troy's shoes, Dr. Hayes has been extremely busy keeping the school system running smoothly. Dr. Hayes was kind enough to take time out of her hectic schedule to meet with me for an interview. Throughout the broadcast, we'll be showing excerpts from the interview so you can get to know our new superintendent. Now let's take a look at the first part to find out what makes her qualified for this position. Hi, I'm here with the new superintendent, Dr. Margaret Hayes. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. Okay, so what is your professional background?
All right, I began my career in education actually teaching at the college level as an adjunct. As I completed my bachelor's degree, there was an opportunity for me to teach at the college that I attended, Wagner College, and I did that part-time for 3 years as I moved on to earn my master's degree in secondary ed social studies. So I began there and then became very excited when I discovered that sociology, which was my undergraduate major, was being introduced into high schools. And so I became very interested in teaching at the high school level and have loved doing that. I did that for 10 years in a small private school in Jersey City called the Bergen School. It was a K through 12 school, and that meant that you got to wear many different hats. So it gave me a wonderful background in education. I moved from there to teaching for 4 years at North Brunswick Township High School, where I taught sociology, U.S. history, world history. Again, enjoyed the classroom and the students. They were energizing and a great deal of fun to be with. Then I had the opportunity to become the K-12 social studies supervisor up in Parsippany. That was a very exciting time because I was dealing with a lot of students. It was a larger district. I worked with all levels, elementary, middle, and high school. And from there, I became an elementary school principal. I've been a principal in 2 different districts, Parsippany and in Old Bridge, and from there moved on to the assistant superintendency here in Scotch Plains. I was extremely happy to become appointed here 4 years ago as the assistant superintendent, enjoyed very much the opportunity to work with Dr. Choi, and now here I am, the superintendent.
Sounds like you have a tremendous amount of experience.
To begin the 2006-2007 school year, Scotch Plains-Fanwood High School once again is trying to make the adjustment from middle school into high school a little bit easier for the incoming freshman class. Student Government Association, known as SGA, held a freshman orientation, and the orientation is held during the summer right before school starts. Freshmen are taken around the school on a tour and then can ask questions to SGA in an informative assembly. SGA also showed the freshmen skits about what the high school really is like and what it isn't. Now let's go to find out some reviews of the orientation with Gabrielle Berman.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Berman on location for Raider News, and I'm here with 3 freshmen, Alyssa, Lauren, and Nikki, who attended freshman orientation. So, what exactly did you guys do at the orientation?
They brought us around to all the classes to make sure we knew most of them, and we played icebreakers, and they just gave us a feel about what high school's going to be like.
Sounds like a good time. And do you think going to the orientation, it helped you adapt more to the high school?
Yeah, it helped us find our first period classes so we wouldn't get lost, and it just really helped with the clubs and stuff because we didn't know what they were about, and it helped us learn.
Well, that's good. And how is your experience in the high school so far?
My experience has been pretty good. I've met a lot of new people in my classes, and during freshman orientation I met new people, and I haven't gotten lost yet. So,
well, that's good. This has been Gabrielle Berman. Now back to the studio.
This past September 11th marked the 5th anniversary of the day our nation was attacked. Scotch Plains Fanwood High School remembered this tragic day by holding a memorial after school. SGA was in charge of the event, and all students and teachers were encouraged to attend to pay respect to the victims. The commemorating ceremony was held on the evergreen field around a sequoia tree that was planted in memory in 2002. Everyone agreed that this was a proper way for all to come together once again in remembrance. Now let's go see actual footage from the memorial ceremony.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
We are gathered in remembrance of this terrible tragedy that occurred 5 years ago today. 5 is a very significant number because a lot can happen in 5 years. Take this sequoia tree, for example. It started out as 1-foot sapling and has grown tremendously, just like you and me. Look how far we've grown in 5 years. Our freshmen have been through a school and into a new one. Our seniors have grown from children to young adults, and we've seen many new faces within our faculty. Look where some of us could be in 5 years, graduating from college, starting careers, and starting families.
Since the tragedy of 9/11, we can't go anywhere without seeing an American flag or other forms of patriotism. Our unity as a country has grown tremendously. Just like this sequoia tree, as time passes, its roots grow deeper, making it stronger. Everyone shocked by this terrible tragedy thought it would bring our country down, but only made us stronger and more united.
Let's now take a moment of silence to remember the lives lost and affected 5 years ago on September 11, 2001. Fallen heroes, innocent victims, and many more.
We'd now like to call up anyone who would like to share a few words.
As Dana said, this tree was planted not that long ago, and it was just 1 foot in height. As a matter of fact, it was planted in 2002. So as you can see, it's very quickly becoming a recognizable symbol of the many heroes and losses that occurred on September 11th, 2001. And I suspect every year, for eternity, there'll be a group of students and faculty members that will assemble here on this day. And this tree will be growing and growing as the years go on. So thank you for being here, and thanks for SGA, and I certainly open the mic to anyone else that would like to contribute this afternoon.
I feel that a parallel exists between what Lawrence Binion felt when he wrote these words in 1914 and how we felt since September 11th, 2001. That is why this poem is one of the few appropriate words to be spoken on a day of remembrance such as this. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. For the fallen, 1914. Thank you.
With the beginning of the school year, students take new classes with new teachers. But as you walk through the hallways of Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, you might see some teachers you haven't seen before. And that is because there's a lot of new faculty at the high school this year. Now let's go on location with Joe Bianco to catch up with 2 of those new teachers.
Hi, I'm here on location with Miss Davis, the new teacher here at SPF. Now, Miss Davis, what grade do you teach?
I teach 9th grade.
And what subject is that?
World history.
Ooh, it's interesting. Now, is this your first year teaching or ever?
Yes, it is.
How's that going for you?
It's going well. It's been a transition, but every day gets better and better.
All right, thank you. Hi, I'm here with new teacher, Mr. V. Now, Mr. V, what grade do you teach?
I'm teaching 9th and 10th grade this year.
What subjects do those include?
Geometry and Algebra 2.
That's cool. Now, how's it being a new teacher at SPFHS?
I'm really enjoying it. The kids are really nice.
Thank you. Any crazy moments happen so far this year?
I don't let things get too crazy. I used to be a principal, so I know how to head that stuff off.
Oh, thank you. This has been Joe Bianco, and now back to the studio.
The Bible Club's first activity of the year was held on September 27th. See You at the Pole was a chance for the club's old and new members to gather together in the front of the school in prayer. Advisors Mr. Abadir and Mr. Stevens are excited for the upcoming year. Now let's go on location to hear more about Bible Club.
Hi, this is Erica Cook on location for Raider News, and I'm standing here with Kate Barker, a student that attended the See You at the Pole. So can you tell me a little bit more about this?
It's when a bunch of Christians at the school came and gathered around the pole yesterday morning and prayed.
And I understand this is a nationwide thing. Do you know any other students that attended this at different schools?
Yes, a bunch of people from my youth group attended other schools at JP Stevens and other schools that I don't remember offhand, but I remember JP Stevens had a whole gathering too.
Thank you. Now back to the studio.
Since the genocide in Sudan's Darfur region, Africa, has become publicized, people all over the world are reaching out and trying to help. And students at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School are no exception. They've created the Amnesty International to try to help and support the cause in Darfur. This is just one way students at the high school are showing concern for global affairs. Now let's go to Andrew Manns to find out a little bit more.
Andrew Manns on location with Alex Jacobs, the co-founder and co-president of the Amnesty Club here at SBFHS. So Alex, why exactly was the Amnesty Club started up?
A lot of kids at the high school were concerned with the genocide in Africa, in Darfur, and we wanted to get together and raise awareness and funds to stop it.
How was the Darfur rally last week?
It was awesome. There were like 30,000 people there. It was in Central Park. Like 50, maybe 60 kids from our high school were there, and it was very successful.
That's really good. When are the meetings for Amnesty Club? Are they like once a week or like a couple times a month?
They're going to be, I think, every Thursday or every other Thursday, depending on whether we need to have a meeting or not. So listen to the announcements.
Good luck with Amnesty Club.
Thank you.
Back to the studio.
Now let's go to part 2 of our interview with Dr. Margaret Hayes to find out her interests outside of school. Outside of the school environment, what are your interests and hobbies?
I have a lot of interest and not a lot of time. I spend an inordinate amount of time at my work, but when I can eke out some personal time for myself, my first love right now is being with my grandchildren. I have 2. One lives outside of Atlanta, so I don't get to see her quite as often as I'd like, but I have another one who lives up in Chatham, and it's only 15 minutes away from here. It's a wonderful respite in the evening. I can sometimes get up there and catch her before she's put to bed in the evening. She's only 21 months old, but she's just at the age where she's starting to talk and respond to the world in such a way that she's become a lovely little person. So she's a great deal of fun. My other major interest is I enjoy music. I've been involved with the Master Teacher Collaborative for the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra. And I also love reading and have recently begun to get an interest in gardening, though I don't have too much time to spend on that.
Now let's go to Arts and Entertainment with Brittany Larkin to find out what's going on in October.
Thanks, Evan. What's happening in October? JSA will be holding the Battle of the Bands on October 6th, and join Spiffy High for their first bonfire on October 13th, and make sure you enjoy a day off from school on Columbus Day. For those interested in the College Hunt, College Club Night will be held on October 20th, and let's not forget about the National Honor Society induction, which will be on October 25th. Good luck to all the students attending the Student Leadership Conference on the weekend of October 27th through the 28th. Back to School Night was held on September 27th. Parents got to experience what their teen's day is really like and meet their child's teachers. Now let's see some footage to see how it turned out.
Hello.
Many people in Scotch Plains usually associate homecoming with Thanksgiving break. This year that will change. The new homecoming date is set for October 28th and will be an all-day event hosted by the Student Government Association. There will be a pre-game show and carnival before the Raiders football team takes on the Cranford Cougars. Later that night, a dance will be held for all high school students where the homecoming king and queen will be crowned. Now let's go on location with Rachel Levy to hear more about it.
Hi, I'm Rachel Levy on location with Jenna Deladon, one of the SJ members who are currently working on homecoming. So Jenna, how is homecoming different this year than in the past?
Well, this year, instead of homecoming being on the night before Thanksgiving, it's actually going to be on October 28th. And instead of the normal shows that the clubs here put on, we're doing a pregame tailgate party up at the senior parking lot, which should be a great time. And then following that, there's going to be a dance at night where the crowning of the king and queen is going to take place.
Sounds like a good time. How are you guys raising money for this event?
Well, since the new law passed, we can't do bake sales or pizza sales, so we are resorting to more fundraising, and we're actually doing something called Stop the Bop that's going to take place on Monday during lunch periods.
What is Stop the Bop?
It's actually an idea we got from the South. Our advisor had a friend, the high school tried this, where they play a song by Hanson, MMMBop, which most people don't like, and we're going to play it loud through the whole lunch period, and we're going to like set a bar like $200, and we need people to contribute money, and then until we get to $200, that's when we'll stop the music.
Can you tell us any hint about what the theme's going to be this year?
I can't really tell you exactly what it is, but it's going to be very festive, and just be ready to have a good time.
Sounds like a good time. I can't wait. Now back to the studio.
To raise money for the new homecoming, the Student Government Association is hosting Stop the Bop. This fundraiser takes place during all lunch periods in the cafeteria, in which MMMBop is played, and students donate money to SGA to stop this repetitive song. Now let's see what students really think about them bopping.
Location with two seniors, Sarah and Lauren, who highly oppose the bop. So Sarah, what are your feelings about the bop?
Well, I just think that it's really annoying because I'm trying to eat my lunch and it's just distracting. I'm trying to do homework too and it's just really interfering and I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay.
Well, and Lauren, what do you think SGA could have done to raise money?
They could have played good music, maybe a thought, or they could have not played music at all because it's a really horrible idea. That's it.
Thanks. I also know people who don't want to come anymore because of this. So I think that they should stop it because I know people don't want to come now because of this stupid song.
Now I'm here on location with sophomore Jamie Petruca, who is enjoying the bop. So Jamie, what are your views on the bop?
I think it's for a good cause and that they'll make a lot of money off of it because some people seem to enjoy it.
Have you noticed any reactions on other students around you at lunch?
There's some students getting up in the middle of lunch, dancing and cheering encore for it to go on more and more. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Do you think that this was a good idea for SGA to raise money for homecoming?
Yeah, because I think they'll make a lot of money off of it.
Well, thanks. This has been Caitlin. Back to the studio.
Now let's go to Colleen Haggerty, who caught up with October's Faculty Member of the Month, David Gowdy.
Hi, I'm Colleen Haggerty on location with October's Faculty Member of the Month, Mr. Gowdy. So how long have you been teaching at the high school?
Been at the high school since 1979, been in district since 1971.
And what subject do you teach?
Right now it's just U.S. History 2.
And is it true that you're retiring this year?
It's the truth. This is the victory tour.
Do you have any plans for your retirement?
Yep, I'm heading to North Carolina, play some golf, and lay on the beach.
And what will you miss the most about the high school?
I'll miss the kids, no doubt about it.
I'm sure they'll miss you too. Now back to the studio.
Unsure of what to wear this season? Let's check out Fashion and Fads with Gabrielle Berman and Alex Santangelo.
What are you looking at?
Hi, I'm Alex Santangelo.
And I'm Gabrielle Berman.
And this is the first edition of Fashion and Fads 2006-2007.
Back to school fashion. Enjoy.
Here we have Christopher Santangelo and Kelly Cianciata. Christopher's wearing a red top with camouflage cargo pants, and Kelly has on a red baby doll top with denim capris and really cute flowers. Here we have Tommy Sutter in khaki dress pants with a blue striped button-down shirt and a tie.
And here we have Kaylee Aguilar in a light blue t-shirt with a denim skirt, and Mike Ferrara in another light blue t-shirt and plaid shorts. Here we have Albert Cortez wearing a striped polo, and Diana Ferrante wearing an orange tank top underneath a really cute white zip-up. We hope you enjoyed the first edition of Fashion and Fads. Now back to the studio.
Now let's hear about some Raider athletics with Samantha Gates.
Thanks, Allie. This year's varsity football team has been performing beyond expectations. With a current record of 2-1, the Raiders surprised us 2 out of the 3 games they've played. This year's captains are seniors Tom Piniella, Greg Brand, John Badala, and Colin Campbell. Predictions from the Courier and the Star-Ledger stated that the Raiders were to lose against Shabazz and Irvington. Beating expectations, the team took a victory against Shabazz with a final score of 21-7. Brand scored 2 touchdowns, while Piniella scored 1. Despite their efforts, the Raiders fell short by just 1 point against Irvington, who is ranked 10th in the state. Although the extra point kick by Dave Belford was blocked, the team held the score down to 7-6, even though they were predicted to lose by 30 points. Just when we thought losing was enough, Captain Piniella tore his MCL during the game against Irvington. If it properly heals, Pinella is looking to hopefully be back by Thanksgiving. Now let's go on location with Dave DeNicolo to find out more information and see some footage from the game against Irvington.
This is Dave DeNicolo reporting for Raider News, and I have two members of the varsity football team, Rob Skiback and Colin Campbell. So Rob, what's your record so far?
We would be 2-1, bro.
So I heard you had a good matchup against Irvington last week.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. They're number 10 in the state, and we came out and played hard. Fortunately, it didn't work out, and we lost 7-6. Missed an extra point, but we're gonna keep playing hard, and hopefully we'll see them again.
What are a few big games that you have coming up?
Actually, this Saturday against Plainfield, it's going to be a very tough physical game. They have a very good running back, and we're going to have to shut them down.
So do you have any more goals, big goals for the team as a whole this year?
Well, basically, we're going to take it one game at a time. Hopefully we can win the remainder of our games and then eventually win a state championship. Chances are we'll see Irvington again in the playoffs because they're in our group now, so it should be fun.
All right, best of luck to you guys, and back to the studio.
It's that time of year again, the season where Scotch Plains Fanwood gets the reputation as having the, quote, worst fans in the county, unquote, according to local newspapers. That's right, it's soccer season, and the varsity boys team has started off with a 6-1 record. Senior captain Brian Meredith and junior captains Brian Hesper and Mike DeVizio have been leading the team, along with junior Tommy Sutter, who's recovering from a recent knee injury during the game against Cranford. The team recently defeated Scotch Plains Fanwood's biggest rival, Westfield. Before the game, certain members of the Westfield community vandalized our town by spray painting a giant W on the center of our field. Unfortunately for them, the W did not stand for their town name, but it did stand for a win for Scotch Plains Fanwood. Besides the win against our biggest rival, the Raiders defeated Del Barton, who was ranked 3rd in the state before the game took place, while Scotch Plains was ranked 17th. Being the biggest upset of the season, the game against Del Barton boosted the team's confidence even more, and they plan on continuing their success. Now let's find out more information by going on location with Ted Rosenblatt.
Hi, this is Ted Rosenblatt on location for Raider News, here with 3 varsity soccer players, Tom Snicker Sutter, Tyler Wu-Tang Stanek, and Mike the Italian Stallion DeVizio. So Mike, how's the season going so far?
Season's going good. We're 5-1. Big win over Del Barton yesterday, 1-0.
And Tyler, who are some key players on the soccer team?
We got a bunch of key players. Meredith holding it down in the net big time. Had a bunch of saves against Del Barton. Got Mike up front. He's pretty good himself.
And Tom, what are some things to look forward to this season?
Well, we have Bridgewater on Saturday. It should be a good game. They have one of the best players in the state, Matt Castle, so it should be an exciting one.
All right. Well, thank you. Good luck with the rest of the season, guys. This has been Ted Rosenblatt. Now back to the studio.
Like the boys, the varsity girls soccer team has their only loss against East Brunswick and a current record of 6-1. Notorious senior captains Lauren Maines, Allie Zazali, and Allie Hamilton led their team to a win against Westfield, their biggest victory of all season. The final score was 2-0, with goals scored by senior Lisa Camarda and junior Alyssa Stranero. Sophomore Katie Carnaccia added her input on the team's success by saying, "We are all really stepping it up because this is our year to have really great things happen." Now let's go on location with Greg Zabel to find out more.
With Raider News with soccer players Allie and Haley. So how's the season going so far?
Pretty good. We're off to a really good start. So.
And what are your key victories?
We beat Cranford, Westfield, and Ridge.
And your key players are?
Our 3 captains, Allie Zazali, Lauren Maines, and Allie Hamilton.
Well, good luck on the season, and thank you. Now back to the studio.
Senior captains Maytal Rosenberg, Morgan Finkel, and our very own Allie Brown have been leading this year's varsity volleyball team to victory. At this time last year, their record was 0-6, but this year the girls are stepping it up with a current record of 4-3. With their brand new spandex uniforms, a car wash or some type of fundraiser will be taking place to help out the team, so keep your eyes peeled. Also receiving new uniforms this year, the varsity girls tennis team is keeping a steady 4-4 record. Senior captains Jackie Lopez and Kiara Thomas are thrilled about their recent victory over Union. This year, first singles belongs to Kathleen Yan, second singles belongs to Thomas, and third singles to Lopez. Second doubles belong to Courtney Buffani and Rachel Cryer, who won against Union. The Raiders plan on continuing their success. Handsome, charming, and of course athletic are 3 words that briefly describe our male athlete of the month, Tom Pinella. Now let's go on location with Lauren Maines to see what he has to say.
Hey, excuse me, Tom. Do you mind if I get an interview?
Hi, I'm Lauren Maines reporting for Channel 34 News. I'm here with captain and catalyst of the Raider football team, Tom Pinella. So, Tom, how does it feel to be the athlete of the month?
It feels great. I was really surprised when they told me. So I'm delightfully surprised, I would describe it.
Well, that's great. You guys have gotten off to a great start. You've got your 2-0 so far, and you got Irvington this week. Now, they're a tough team, top 10 in the state. How do you feel about this? What's your game plan?
Well, Coach Cicatelli has put together a lot of cool things on defense, and on offense, we're going to keep doing what we're doing because it seems to be working. But they're going to underestimate us, and I know that we're focused, so I think we're going to go in there and pull out a W. I'm pretty confident.
Well, good luck to you with that. And what are your plans for college? I mean, I also know you're an accomplished pole vaulter. Like, what sports do you want to play in college?
Well, I want to go to Penn State, so I think football would be a little tough to do. But I am thinking about walking on to the track team if I do make it there.
Well, congratulations again with your Male Athlete of the Month. Good luck with your season and your future plans for college. This has been Lauren Maines. Now back to the studio.
Speaking of Lauren Maines, she just happens to be our Female Athlete of the Month. Let's go on location with Brian Dewar to see what she has to say.
This is Brian Dewar reporting for Raider News with September's Female Athlete of the Month, Lauren Maines. So, Lauren, how's it feel to be named Athlete of the Month?
Feels really good. I'm really excited to be recognized for the Female Athlete of the Month.
And what position do you play on the soccer team?
I play goalkeeper.
And do you have any plans for college yet?
Yeah, I'm going to Lehigh University to play soccer next year.
That's great. Well, good luck the rest of the year. This has been Brian Dewar reporting for Raider News. Back to the studio.
Now let's go back to Allie and Evan.
Thanks, Samantha.
Now let's go to the final part of our interview with Dr. Margaret Hayes. And now, finally, from your perspective, how has the beginning of the new school year gone thus far?
The beginning of the school year is always a very exciting time of the year. It's a time of new beginnings for everyone. It really is a process that rolls out, though, when you look at it from this office's vantage point. We start in August with 3 days of workshops for our administrators. Then we move on to 3 days of workshops for our new teachers. This year we hired over 50 new teachers, so we were very excited about that opportunity. And then we have a full day of staff development for over 400 staff members before you guys all arrive on the scene. And then we had a half-day convocation for all of our certificated staff the day before school opened. And then, after doing all those exciting activities, we opened school for all of our students. I think the opening went very well, thanks to all the hard work that was done by all of our teachers and our administrators, the custodians, the secretaries, everybody. It's a real team effort here in Scotch Plains to pull everything together to have schools ready to open. We opened with increased enrollment this year, so that is beginning to become a little bit of a challenge in terms of making sure we've got space for everybody. But with the team effort that we have going here, as I say, the kids all came the first day. They went home with smiles on their face, most of them at the end of the day, and they came back the next day, which is a real sign of a good system operating well. When I was in some of the schools during the first couple of days of schools, one of the teachers commented that it feels like it was just a weekend, and they were gone, and now they're back, which is a real tribute to how well everybody works in terms of pulling good experiences together for the children. They're back in the routine with hardly missing a heartbeat.
That's excellent. I agree. Definitely a smooth start. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Hayes, for taking the time to meet with us, and good luck the rest of the school year. Now back to the studio.
Thanks for watching the first edition of the 2006-2007 Raider News Monthly Edition.
Our next broadcast will begin airing on the first Monday of November, November 6th. We'll see you then.